Welcome to MLC TV News Oct, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Joshua Adinoy. The headlines. Federal High Court slams 1 million naira damage on NYSC for refusing 6 female corps members from wearing skirt. NDLEA seizes over 13 million pills of tramadol in Lagos. And federal government to honor late YEKINI and Joshua. Now the news in detail. KOGI State Governor BELLO has reiterated his commitment to alleviating the hardship flood victims are going through and calls on relevant authorities for assistance. Governor Bello made the call when he visited the affected areas within Lokoja, the state capital. He was joined by a few of his cabinet members who moved in a canoe to those areas. The 2022 flood have been confirmed as Nigeria's worst flood disaster, and as predicted by the National Meteorological Agency, NYMET, the flood would affect some states in Nigeria following the release of water from the Ladgro Dam in Cameroon and other dams in Nigeria. We now join Faith Abdul Ghaffar for more reports.
From the popular Pata Market down to Natako along the Lokoja-Abuja Expressway could not be accessed except by canoe due to massive flooding. This left many to either join the canoe, stay at home or go through a long distance to get to international market, Natako and Felele axis of the state. To ascertain the level of havoc the flood has caused to the people of Kogi State, the state governor Bello, joined with some of his cabinet members, went on the spot assessment only with canoes. The flood did not only cause road access impediments, but has taken lives. A Kogi State Polytechnic student was also reported to have died when the flood wave became so strong that it swept the students away into the river, among others who have died in various affected communities in the state. After the risk taken, Governor Bello sympathized with the family of the victims and assured residents of Pata and Adankulu communities that were most hit in the city of Lokoja of his administration to ensure that are resettled.
We shall make efforts to ensure that we relocate all the inhabitants to a more suitable place. We are aware that we have embarked on urban renewal. This urban renewal, this particular flood that come now has given us another opportunity to see how much we can expand the city and town of Lokoja and all of the other cities and local government that are currently underwater. Ibaji is completely underwater. More than 50% of Ida is underwater. Kotokarve is underwater. Basa is underwater. Ofun is underwater. Omala is underwater. Ajakuta is underwater. You know, there are several other communities that have been consumed by this particular flood and some other tributaries, you know, all across the state. We are aware of all of these. We embarked on what we call erosion control. Kogi State in partnership with World Bank, you know, and we've been able to do our best. We will continue to do our best, and then relief materials and palliatives are coming underway.
He expressed deep dissatisfaction over the scope of devastation and suffering the people are going through, advised them not to play with water.
I sincerely call on all of you, please let nobody play with water. I know all of us, we can swim, we can dive, you know, we live inside water long before now, but let me tell you something. Don't joke with water. The water is still rising, it's not receding yet, so that we don't endanger our life. May God Almighty bring succor to our way.
Governor Bello recalled that water overflowing the banks of River Niger and River Benue in the last decade has become an occurrence, causing disasters that have afflicted the state and the people since the first experience in 2012, then in 2015 and in 2018. But in 2022, with an amount of destruction and deaths recorded. It has posed to be the worst flooding than the rest of the years before. At Adankolo IDP camp, he promised to provide succor for them. He instructed Lokoja local government chairman to capture all the affected into BELLO care program.
We will bring all the necessary succor, palliative assistance to all of you in terms of food items, and when water recedes, we will ensure that those that need to be relocated from where they are to a new site on a more permanent basis to do that. I call on all of you to please remain peaceful and calm, and I thank the local government chairman for providing the necessary security for all of you here. Please live in peace and harmony. This is not your permanent home. Water will go. You will just retrieve whatever you can retrieve. We will relocate you to a new permanent place. Using this opportunity to call on all of you. We have a program called BELLO Care and Health Insurance Scheme. Chairman, make sure that all those that are in various IDPs are captured under this BELLO Care and Health Insurance Scheme free of charge. And there are other systems and programs that we have designed. We will make sure that those of you that are affected immediately are captured and you benefit.
The traditional ruler appreciated the quick intervention the governor has brought to them.
We are indeed very grateful for this kind of great visit. This is the first of its kind. And by the grace of God, the Lord will reward you. He will reward your kindness, your passion over us. The Lord will reward you and reward your family also.
He assured all affected communities across the most flooded local government areas of the state of the government's plans to properly resettle and rehabilitate the victims. He, however, made a passionate appeal to President Muhammadu Buhari, the World Bank, public-spirited individuals to assist Kogi State government to cushion the effects of the flood ravaging Kogi State.
This particular problem is not a problem that only Kogi State can solve. The people alone cannot solve it. So please, I am calling on everybody to please come on board and join hands with us to ensure that we save the situation. If Kogi State is cut off, more than 90% of both north and south have been cut off. The road is already underwater. So we are calling on Fashola as well to come over and see exactly the level of water so that the award of contract can be readjusted or remodeled, the road can be changed so that the road will not spoil, once again. The second lane of the Muritala Mohammed Bridge has not been attended to. Even the one that was renovated or reconstructed is already giving way. So I am calling on federal government to please come and look into it. There are several other federal government roads that even Kogi State is intervening, and we are calling on you to please quickly come to our aid.
Faith Abdugafar reporting for MLC TV.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced a salary increase for workers in the state public office. Sanwo-Olu made this announcement during his courtesy visit to the head Office of Public Service in Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos. Details of this story will be brought your way in our subsequent bulletin. An executive Nigerian staff of the ECOWAS Court of Justice, Temitope Stephen, has sued both the president of the ECOWAS Commission and ECOWAS Court of Justice for violating his right of employment. The staff, Temitope Stephen, is challenging the violation of his fundamental rights to work and gainful employment, which is contrary to Article 33(1) of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 6 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, and Article 15 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, being one of the executive assistants that should enjoy the tenure extension alongside the judges that will remain in office till 2026. He said he wondered why they are being treated differently despite the huge experience they have garnered working for the court for over 5 years now. It was noted that the president of the court had issued a memo that the offices of the retained judges continue their tenure as being extended, but that the salaries of the other 2 judges and their executive assistants leaving in October 10th should be regularized. But surprisingly, the president issued another memo dated 21st September 2022, changing the earlier decision of the council by empowering the retained judges to reappoint a new executive assistant if they so wish, contrary to the decision of the council and the content of the earlier memo. The petitioner seeks for the court to determine whether the president of the ECOWAS Court of Justice has the right to vary and reinterpret the council decision, retaining the judges of Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana and Nigeria in the office for the 2022-2026 term, pending the nomination of their successors, stressing that the word reappoint was not part of the decision of the council. Rather, it says the salaries of the 2 judges and their executive assistant going in October should be regularized, which did not affect other executive assistants to the retained judges of the 3 countries concerned. The petitioner said his right to employment has been violated due to the fact that the president of the court, via his memo, wants to constructively dismiss him on 10th October 2022, asking the court to order his reinstatement and to pay all his salaries and entitlements for all the period starting from the date of the extension of all the judges' contract until new office holder will take over. That a $6 million United States dollars compensation should be paid to him for moral, mental damage, torture, and degrading treatment he and his family has suffered as a result of the anticipated constructive dismissal this month, and also the salaries, entitlements, and other benefits that should have been paid to him for the period that the contract will last in 2026. The judiciary is said to be the last hope of the common man and a voice to the voiceless. This again was demonstrated as a federal high court holding in Abuja slammed 1 million naira on the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) as damage for refusing a female corps member, Emogene Julia, and 6 others opportunity to wear skirts during their service year. The defendant's lawyer, Baba Shehu Ahmad, said his client, Emogene Julia, and 6 others tendered before the court that it was a breach of the applicant's right, the refusal of his client to wear skirt by the NYSC during their service year as contained in Section 38(1) of 1999 Constitution as amended. Among others, Ahmed also said such act was a breach of the freedom of religion, harassment, embarrassment, and humiliation of his clients who were refused from using skirt that has earlier been stipulated by the law to be used by the members of the NYSC. Delivering his judgment, Honorable Justice D.U. Okorowo of the Federal High Court of Nigeria declared that the use of skirt by the applicant in National Youth Service Corps forms part of the fundamental rights of freedom of religion and freedom to manifest same in practice and observance as contained in the Section 38(1) of 1999 Constitution as amended. Justice Okorowo also declared that the harassment, embarrassment, and humiliation which the applicants were subjected to in the hands of the agents of the respondent is a clear infringement on the fundamental right of the said applicant right to religion and freedom to manifest same in the practice, as well as fundamental rights to dignity of human person and degrading treatment. The court mandated the respondent, their servants, agents, privates, or whatsoever called to recognize, allow, and provide skirt for the applicant or any female wishing to use same in line with the Section 38(1) of the 1999 Constitution as amended and the Book of Deuteronomy 22 verse 5. He also ordered forthwith to recall the applicant and restore all their entitlements in accordance with rights and benefits accorded their callmates, including issuance of call certificates of that year with damages in the sum of 1 million naira each. Emogena Julia and 6 others were corps members who graduated from the University of Ibadan in 2019 and were denied the use of skirt as uniform during their National Youth Service Corps exercise by the agent of the respondent, thereby subsequently denying the applicants completion of their service. On crime, over 30 million pills of tramadol worth 8 billion naira in street value have been recovered by the operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) from one of the mansions of a billionaire drug baron, Ugochukwu Nsofo Chukwu Kadibia, in the Highbrow Residential Estate, Victoria Garden City, Lekki area of Lagos State. The arrest of Ugochukwu, who is the chairman of the Autonation Motors Limited, is coming barely 2 months after NDLEA uncovered a methamphetamine clandestine laboratory in the residence of another drug kingpin in the estate, Chris Emeka Nzewi, who was arrested along with a chemist, Sunday Uka, who cooked the illicit drug for him. At least 258.74 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine and various precursor chemicals used for the production of the toxic drug were recovered from Nzewi's home during his arrest. Before his arrest, Ugochukwu, who hails from Ihiala local government area of Anambra State, has been on the agency's watch list as one of those behind the tramadol drug cartel in Nigeria. Preliminary investigation shows that he has about 6 mansions within the VGC, one of which he uses to warehouse the tramadol consignment, while he lives in one and another as his office. 5 exotic vehicles have also been located in 2 of his mansions, out of which 2 SUVs, including a bulletproof jeep, have been successfully removed to the agency's facility. Reacting to the latest drug haul, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Mohammed Buba Mawa, commended the officers and men involved in the operation for their diligence, while also appreciating Nigerians for supporting the agency in its task of ridding the country of the menace of drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking. We go on a short break. We will be right back.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, North Korea has fired a suspected missile over Japan in what appears to be a deliberate escalation to get the attention of Tokyo and Washington. The ballistic missile traveled about 4,500 kilometers before falling into the Pacific Ocean, far enough to hit the U.S. island of Guam if it took another trajectory. It is the first North Korean missile launch over Japan since 2017. The launch saw Japan issues a red alert to some citizens to take cover. The UN prohibits North Korea from testing ballistic and nuclear weapons. Flying missiles towards or over other countries without any pre-warning or consultation also contravenes international norms. Officials later said the intermediate-range ballistic missile fell into the Pacific Ocean far from Japan, and there were no reported injuries. It has covered the longest distance ever traveled by a North Korean missile and reached a height of around 1,000 kilometers, higher than the International Space Station. Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida described the launch as violent behavior, while Defense Minister Yasukazu Hamada said Japan will not rule out any option to strengthen its defense, including counter-attack capabilities. The U.S. National Security Council spokesperson, Adrian Watson, called it a dangerous and reckless decision that was destabilizing to the region. Sports is up next. Let's join Jonah Malik.
And on sport update, the late Rashidi Yekini and two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua are set to receive national honors from the President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja on October 11. Yekini, who died 10 years ago after a protracted illness in his native Kwara State, will be awarded with a posthumous member of the Order of the Niger Award. The prolific striker scored Nigeria's first ever goal at the World Cup against Bulgaria at USA 94 and led the way as they won the African Cup of Nations in the same year. He is Nigeria's top international scorer with 37 goals from 58 games. Also, two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua, whose father hails from Shagamu in Ogun State, will be awarded the Officer of the Federal Republic. In September, Buhari had earlier conferred different national honors on athletes that won medals at the World Athletics Championship in the USA and the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham City, United Kingdom. In 2018, Joshua was awarded the Officer of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire by the then Prince Charles after retaining his WBA, IBF and WBO titles. Still on sports, the new president, Nigerian Football Federation NFF, Ibrahim Gusau, has pledged to run an inclusive administration in which all stakeholders will be welcome and make suggestions and recommendations to the best way to deal with issues. A former chairman of the Zamfara State Sports Commission, Gusau served as a member of the organizing committee for the African Nations Championship and as a member of the CAF organizing committee for youth competitions. He is also a safety and security officer of the Confederation of African Football. Having served 2 terms as chairman of chairmen and member of the NFF Executive Committee under the Amaju Pinnick administration, Gusau says he is determined to focus on the welfare of the players and officials of the various national teams. The new NFF Executive Committee will hold its first meeting in Abuja in few days. Defending champion Taiwo Akambi failed to hold on to the title she won in 2021 after she was humbled by Aisha Rabiu in the final of the Dr. Efunkoya Cadet Table Tennis Championship, which ended at the National Stadium in Lagos. The 3-day championship has 64 boys and 37 girls competing in 5 events, while Victor Joseph of KOGI State emerged as the new boys singles champion after he defeated Toby Adebanki 3-0, 11-3, 11-8 and 11-8. Akambi, a regular in the final of the tournament, met a different Rabiu in the girls' final as both players have been familiar in previous tournaments. But this year, it was Rabiu that had the upper hand after going 6-11 in the first game. A pep talk from her father and coach was what Rabiu needed to turn the tide against Akambi as she ended the reign of the Lagos State Cadet champion with 11-4, 11-8, 11-8 to record a 3-1 win and crowned the new girls champions. An elated Rabiu described the win as the biggest of her growing career while attributing the victory to the support and technical input of her father coach. And that's sports update on MLC TV News. I am Malik Jonah reporting. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thanks for the update, Jonah. And on the entertainment news, Matthias Ayodeji is our guide.
our foreign entertainment news, the identity of the new Black Panther has sparked online debate for months, with production only confirming no plans to recast Chadwick Boseman's character. Marvel has debuted the official trailer for its highly anticipated Black Panther sequel, Wakanda Forever, ahead of its November 11th theatrical debut. The new trailer, which debuts alongside news of early ticket sales, finally lets fans in on what to expect from the sequel while finally unveiling the identity of the Black Panther, a topic of intense debate this past month. A few seconds to the end of the trailer shows a female, presumably Letitia Wright Shuri, donning the Black Panther suit. Marvel's new poster also sports white dots on the Black Panther mask, which bears a striking resemblance to the facial paint worn by Shuri in the first look teaser. While the studio is yet to confirm, the teaser is enough to keep fans buzzing in a bid to connect the dots. Since the sequel's announcement, speculations have been rife about rights taking on the Black Panther suit. The British star character is T'Challa's tech-whiz-kid sister and easily fits the bill, especially after Marvel confirmed that there was no plan to recast Chadwick Boseman's character. Recall that the actor passed on in 2020 from a prolonged battle with cancer. He starred as King T'Challa in the Ryan Coogler-directed movie. Crossing over to Africa, Nigeria's celebrated singer and songwriter Asha has demanded that Afrobeat artist Joeboy and producer Tempo pay her 300 million naira over copyright infringement in Joeboy's Contour. This was revealed in a letter sent to Joeboy by Asha's lawyer, and which the artist posted on his Instagram story. According to the letter, the lawyers representing Asha stated that the song's compositions was created by Asha in a recording session with Tempo, which took place on 22nd September 2022. It further stated that their clients didn't grant permission for Joeboy and Tempo to utilize said composition. Asha's lawyer demanded that the song be taken off all distribution platforms within 24 hours of receiving the letter. In addition to this, they also demanded that Joeboy and Tempo address an apology to their clients for the copyright breach while ceasing any and all further infringements. As a remedy for the damages, Asha is seeking 300 million naira in damages, as well as 60% cut off the split sheet. Joeboy appears to have received the news with relative ease, as he dares Asha and her lawyers to do their worst. On his Instagram story, he posted the letter with the caption LOL, laugh out loud. He further indicated that he won't take the claim lying down, as he insists that his calm demeanor should not be taken for weakness. Open quote, "Cause I dey always do love and light, you think say I be soft meat," close quote, he posted on his Instagram story. More than 48 hours after receiving the letter, there was yet no word from Asha's lawyer, and Joeboy dared them to do something. It's unclear to what extent Asha's copyright was infringed upon in Joeboy's Contour, and if Joeboy and Tempo were aware of the infringement. And that is all on entertainment news today. My name is Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV.
Thanks for the update, Matthias. And that's the size of our package for today. Join us tomorrow at this same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachite TV. Like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, Twitter, MLC TV 1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, advert and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. It's Malachite TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Joshua Adenoy. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Good day and thanks for watching.